In 1983, when Return of the Jedi came out, people were heartbroken because they were like, oh my God, this is the end of the story. And they didn't know what to do with themselves. And everybody kind of fell into a slump across the world. And that hasn't happened again until right this second. Because we have reached the ultimate episode of Tales from the Treehouse. It's our rank extravaganza, which is a word that is going to be spoken by the youngsters for many years to come. It will replace 6-7. It will replace Riz. People will just be saying rank extravaganza from now on, and everyone will know they're talking about us, namely Amanda Barone and me, Andrew Fantasia. That's what they're going to talk about forever and ever.
We just bring all the Riz and rank extravaganza-ness. What about, I don't know, I kind of prefer Rankapalooza.
Ooh, that is much more Simpson-y. You're right about that.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna make a note of that. Rankapalooza. Because otherwise I'll forget. And there we go. Rankapalooza.
I like how you introduced me. I was going to introduce myself as Fantasia Andrew because like the opposite of you, but I don't know. I didn't.
My name is Barone Amanda. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you spoiled it. You spoiled my last episode trick extravaganza.
No. I'm so sorry. That means we have to have an extra episode. That's it.
Yeah, you ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
Foiled.
Well, I'm sure our heartbroken fans, they're going to be listening to this one for ages to come, and they'll remind me of how I ruined that. But you know what? It's a price worth paying because they get to hear the Rankapalooza to end all Rankapaloozas, frankly. There have been a lot of those. Some of them a bit more palooza than rank, but I think we have a healthy balance. I don't know. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's what we're all about, Andrew. Balance.
Yeah, that's why that word is on my arm. For that very reason, it needs to be, balance needs to be a thing.
There you go. Literally written on your skin, ingrained in you. Forever.
I have no choice now. I just woke up with this here. It wasn't my decision.
You can escape the balance.
Yeah. So today's agenda here on Tales from the Treehouse is we have watched 20 episodes of Treehouse of Horror, each of them with 3 stories. And now we have been given, or rather we've given ourselves the Herculean task of picking the best 10. So you have your best 10. I have my best 10. There might be some crossover. And the fun is going to be in finding out. Maybe we should start off by making a bet, Amanda. Let's make a bet. How much crossover do you think we're going to have on our lists?
I feel like percentage-wise, I feel like we're going to have at least 65 to 70% crossover here. I feel like that's my guess. My guess.
So you're thinking like 6 stories.
Yeah, I feel like we'll have at least 6 or 7 of the same choices. Maybe not in the same position in terms of rank. Maybe.
We were teenagers loved that was what you guessed, by the way.
6, 7. Caught that, eh? Yeah, that was there. Maybe 6, maybe 7. Fuck. Shit. Sorry. Anyway, read a book. That's the end of the episode. Sorry. Back to the rank. Yeah, I feel like we'll have at least 75%, maybe 85, being generous, but
maybe. I think, yeah, you know what? Now that I really look at what I have and I really think about how we went over certain things, I think 6 stories is a perfect amount of crossover. So I'm going to agree with you on that.
All right. Okay.
I think, or maybe I should play Prices Right way and I'll say 5 to be closest without going over. Be that guy from Price is Right, you know what I mean?
So slithery there. No.
Every time I saw anybody on that show be like $1, Bob, I'd just be like, really? Is this what we're doing?
Yeah. Yep. That's all right. We'll get there. Okay. All right. Who's gonna start? We're starting at 10. Starting at 10. Counting.
We're starting at 10. So we're gonna do the patented Matt Gorley approach to top 10s, where If Amanda says her number 10, and I also have that story on my list, we're not going to talk about it yet. We're going to hold off until we get to it in my list, and vice versa, so that we don't end up talking about the same thing twice. And plus, it creates just fun suspense, and it makes us have those moments where we go, "Whoa!" So that's why that method rocks. So I think, without any further ado, Amanda, you should absolutely tell us your number 10 favorite Treehouse of Horror story.
All right. So I guess starting off with a bang, Citizen King.
Citizen Kang is your number 10. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Season 8. Treehouse of Horror, episode 7.
Treehouse of Horror 7. So guess what, Amanda? We are going to wait to talk about Citizen Kang.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Can I ask, are you allowed to tell me what rank it is for you?
No.
Okay, I'll just put it. I have a list here, so I'm gonna keep track. So you picked it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So for my number 10, I went with one that surprised both of us. We were both like, damn, that was fun. I went with The Ned Zone from Treehouse 15.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice. See that? That's on my honorable mention because I wanted to pick it. I wanted to pick it. It was up there.
It was one of the ones where, because like we've said, I think last time we mentioned this, how number 10 is always so hard to pick on these lists. And it came down to that. I was like, I need this number 10, and then I can figure out the rest. And I kept coming back to just that moment in the podcast where you and I kept saying, wow, the Ned Zone was really, like, we forgot how good the Ned Zone was. And it wasn't even like blowing our minds, but there was just moments in it where we kept coming back to the Ned Zone, and the surprise that we had. And I mean, at the end of the day, the Rosie O'Donnell musical being canceled after 2 performances.
He didn't need that. Yeah, psychic powers to know that. I'll tell you, it was my number 11 for honorable mention.
So we had it real close.
Yeah.
We had it real close. Yeah, what a great story. I love whenever Ned takes front and center in these Halloween episodes. So yeah, that was a hard choice to make, but at the end of the day, Ned Zone. Number 10. What's your number 9?
Ooh, okay. This one, I don't know that you'll have this one, but I liked this one because it had a lot of great quotes. Number 9 was Hex in the City, which was season 13.
That's the Harry Potter episode, isn't it?
No, it's the gypsy with the leprechaun.
That's right.
But all the mystical creatures.
That's right. I do not have that on my list, so go right ahead and tell us about Hex in the City.
Yeah, so that one I really liked because it had a lot of great quotes. It wasn't really a parody of another movie or a show or a story or like a poem or something like that. And it was just a story that it maybe wasn't. It's kind of scary. Like if you're cursed by a gypsy and your loved ones turned into different. Like Marge became like a skeleton and like it kind of unraveled. Like Bart was like a wolf man. He was like howling at the moon and eating rats and like. He was like, I kind of like this. Or no, his neck broke. Sorry, his neck got long. And they're like, Bart's dead. Oh, that's right. Bart died. What do you mean everything turned out okay? Sorry, it's confusing those two. But it was such a good, like, it just had so many, like great one-liners. Like, I just loved it. And the leprechaun, like that episode, just when I was thinking about it and going through it, I'm like, yeah, that one was really funny. Yeah. It made me laugh a lot. And yeah, it was good.
That is a great choice. Yeah. I, for some reason, when I was picking my rankings and I looked at that name, I remember thinking, oh, that's the Harry Potter one, right? And I was getting them mixed up in my head. But you bringing it up and like reminding me of all those moments, like, how's that curse I cursed you with, Cursey? I know you don't remember me, but
yeah, I know you don't remember me. Yeah, so many good ones in that. No, the one, the Whiz Kids, that one has a lot of good ones too. Where like Lisa turns the clock back and she's like, And Homer's like, or Marge is like, that's not good for the clock. Like, I couldn't choose. Like, yeah, there are a couple ones where they were almost similar, and I really liked both, but I was like, this one was better. I don't know. Anyway,
This is a great choice, Amanda. I like this one a lot. Just even that pit where they pick
yeah,
the hobgoblin. Yeah, that's
Katie Couric. Yeah, yeah.
wow, what a good one. All right, that is a great number 9. So you mentioned off the top of your explanation there how you liked how Hex in the City wasn't a straight up parody; it was doing its own thing.
Yeah.
And I definitely respect those kind of stories. However, I'm going to be a hypocrite right now because my number 9 is a parody. It is a very blatant parody. Um, I would say the name of it, but we don't want to get sued. So I'll just say the Shinin.
Oh, can't talk about it. It's also on my list. Great choice. Great choice. But to your point, I think one of the looking at my list, like that one, the Hex in the City stood out to me because it's one of the only ones that really surprisingly wasn't really a parody or like a remake of my choices. And we talked about that a lot, but the ones that just stuck with me and were my favorites, and for some reason, I love the quotes from, and I probably quote on a weekly, if not daily basis, because I I just spit out Simpsons quotes. That's how I talk. Yeah. So similar, not hypocritical choices, but it just is what it is.
Yeah. All right. So we'll put a pin in the Shinning. And it's time to go to your number 8.
Okay. So this choice, and I don't know if you also had an issue, not an issue, but you struggled with, I don't know, just your love of the classics and the rewatch and revisiting of some of the newer sketches. And you're like, oh man, this one slaps. Like the Hex in the City. That's like a later season. It's like season 13. But I had to include Citizen Kang. It has our motto that we say at the end. And I had to include this one, The Clown Without Pity.
Clown Without
4.
Pity.
Yeah, evil Krusty doll, baby.
Love it. It's from Treehouse 3, and I don't have that on my list.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this episode was a classic. Early Treehouse, like Andrew said, it's number 3. This is where Homer is trying to get a last minute birthday gift for Bart, and he goes to a weird market, and it's the random old just creepy shop with random cultural items, and then the Krusty doll that he buys and happens to be evil. He doesn't realize, but he's also tempted with the free Frogurt, which has potassium benzoate. That's bad. So I love that classic. It's a parody kind of on the evil doll trope like Chucky, but it's so great how he interacts with the Simpsons and the family and Lisa's toys, like the Malibu Stacy house and Malibu Stacy. Yeah, I thought it was a good one. It's a classic. If you're a fan of the older seasons, it's definitely a standout amongst the original Treehouse sketches.
Oh, hell yeah. That Paul Frobert thing is that's one of the time-worn Simpsons, just that whole run, people will say it ad nauseum and it never gets old. And you're right about the classics versus the moderns, because I was worried before I started making the top 10. I was like, is my list going to be boring and just all classic stuff? I don't want to be like that. But then, like you said, going back and looking at the more modern ones that we saw, even though those modern ones are almost 20 years old now already, I was like, there's so many good ones on here that are going to end up in my top 10. So I loved that it ended up being balanced.
Yeah, mine is kind of a mix. It kind of goes in between every other. I had to go by quotes. I actually looked back at my notes. I was like, yeah, these, I got to include these. They slapped. So, all right.
Amazing.
Andrew.
It comes with a free Frogurt. Okay.
Yeah.
My number 8, I remember being really tricky because at first I thought, I don't like this one as much as I think I do. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, you know what? I do like it as much as I think I do. And that is Time and Punishment from Treehouse 5.
Nice.
everything Homer does in his time travel odyssey is just a delight, and all the different worlds. When we get that montage where you see the Simpsons house and it's changing to reflect all the changes he makes, every one of those could be a story that I want to hear. And the crescendo of Homer getting more and more infuriated with how things are changing, where he starts off being the most careful little mouse possible, and then by the end he's just like kicking dinosaurs and like punching stuff.
Stomping stuff. Yeah.
He's that is pure Homer at his finest, and there's so much in there to love, especially the perfect world that he just misses out on because he overreacts a little too much. But it includes his dead sisters-in-law.
Yeah.
You gotta love it.
So good. And then it rains donuts. Like,
Yep.
yeah. I didn't have that on my list. That was in my honorable mentions.
Oh, yeah, I should have asked first. Sorry. Yeah, okay.
No, it's okay. No, that's why I just let you go. I let you go because I was like, take the floor, Andrew. I don't have it.
All right. Yeah, that almost didn't make it for me.
This is where I struggled.
And then I had to do some adjusting, and it was strange. But that is my 8. So it is time to hear your number 7.
All right. Sorry, let me just review my. Did you also make a spreadsheet?
No, but now I think we need to see yours. That's got to be, you got to show that off after.
It's not that advanced in terms of spreadsheet. It's a table, really, but yeah, I'm just trying to track. But yeah, it's my number 7 is another classic, actually. And it is Terror at 5.5 feet.
Terror at 5.5 feet. Guess what? We're waiting to talk about Terror at 5.5 feet.
All right, that's number 2. I'm keeping track here. Keeping track.
All right. Yeah, same here. I got a big old fat asterisk next to it to know that we got to wait. All right. That's a great choice, though. For my number 7, I went with one that's like right in that spot where I feel like classic Simpsons is over, but modern Simpsons hasn't started yet. Fly versus Fly.
Oh, good choice.
Yes, 8.
I didn't have that one. I didn't pick it.
Oh, okay. This is one that if it wasn't for us doing this podcast, I never would have guessed in a million years that I would say it's my number 7 favorite Treehouse story of all time. Like it was so under the radar, but then when we rewatched it, and I'm just like, every shot of that goddamn fly-headed Bart is blah, 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 and the family is just loving him, and Homer's kissing.
It is like, yeah.
Everything about that is just bananas. And I couldn't get over that, just the visual delight of that when we watched it for this podcast. And then it ended up being a good story to boot. Like, it's one of the few modernish tree houses that really sticks to landing. Like, it follows through on its ending. Bart and Lisa defeat the fly monster, and they get things back to normal. Whereas I feel like a lot of the treehouse stories, they tend to have this really great concept, and then they're like, okay, we did our thing, and then it just kind of peters out at the end without really having like a nice little conclusion. And I get it, that's hard to do in short stories, but this one had all of that on top of being really funny, and on top of Homer trying to steal sugar from
Bart. Yeah.
It's just got everything you could want in a good story. So that was what made it number 7 for me.
Excellent. Good choice. Good choice. Yeah, no, that one is a memorable one for me. But I just, yeah, there's other ones that I love. I couldn't skip them. Disappear, like the whole Mega Man, like, for example, like, it's not my favorite episode, but the the quote from Patty and Zelda where they're like, oh, you disappeared into fat air. Like, I always think of that now since we rewatched it. I don't know why. Must have disappeared into fat air. Anyway. All right. My so my number 6 This one was kind of tricky,
Hmm.
but it is Nightmare Cafeteria, season 6.
Nightmare
Trios of Horror number 5.
Ooh boy. Um, that is not on mine. All right.
Oh, okay. All right. So Nightmare Cafeteria is where, Springfield Elementary, which I think is a great setting for a lot of the stories because it includes a lot of different characters. Like you get the teachers, you get all the different students. And, the best for the Trios of Horror is Groundskeeper Willie because, he always eats it. Like they just love to kill him off. Um, and this episode really isn't any exception. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one. It's all about the teachers becoming cannibalistic and eating the students, and Lisa and Bart kind of trying to foil Skinner and the school staff from eventually eating them. All the kids die. You see Millhouse die. It's a pretty gruesome episode, but again, it's sort of original. There really wasn't I don't want to say there isn't a comparison in terms of like movies, but it's really just a cannibal story. And it's not really a parody. It's not really a satire, but it's well done and you get all the characters and you get to see all of, the ensemble and the kids, which makes it, kind of fun. It's Halloween, right? It's a Trios of Horror episode, so having Bart and Lisa as like the center of the story, it's always a good lens for really any Simpsons episode, but especially the trios. So that was my number 6.
That is a great pick. You're right about it being such a just a well-rounded story with a great setting. They really something about Springfield Elementary is just so much fun to visit, and that staff is so much fun to spend time with. Um, this one came real close to making it on my list, but it probably would have fallen in like my number 12. I think this one was
Yeah.
close. It also has my favorite and one of my favorite animations of Bart when he's Skinner's like slowly backing him towards the big pulverizer, and you just
Yeah.
see kind of Bart from like a backside profile, and he's like,
Yeah, they're inching back like on the plank. Yeah. It's
"That's
also one of the only episodes that has Ooter. Like,
right, yeah,"
and
and
it,
you can't go wrong with Uter.
yeah. Yeah. How do you
That's
include it?
we'll be talking about Uter quite a bit shortly.
Okay, all right. I'm glad we captured the essence of him in this episode. We needed to. We really needed to.
All right. That puts me at, is this my number 6 now? Yeah, it's my number 6. Okay. So my number 6, we're going with a more modern Simpsons story. And I got 4 words for you, Amanda. That's not a snog.
4 weddings and a funeral.
4 beheadings and a funeral.
Oh yeah, that's a
Uh,
good one.
is this one on your list?
It's not.
Ah, okay.
Although that quote is one of my favorites. Oh,
Yeah.
that's not a snog. Yeah.
I mean, just as a guy who loves the whole mythos around Jack the Ripper and everything like that, and that whole setting, the fact that they told the story set in that world, and then at first they make you feel like they're going the Jack the Ripper route, because it just looks like that visually, but then they kind of just do their own thing, and it becomes almost steampunk in a way, and it's really, really fun. And they took full advantage of that setting with the British jokes and having Wiggum eat like disgusting British food, and like everything was just the paper dullness of them just putting on these costumes was not paper dullness. It was a full like detailed play acting of putting all the Simpsons characters in another, not just place, but another time, and making it work and making every different iteration, like Homer as this like weird guy who hangs out an opium den, it somehow works. Lisa as this detective, it somehow works. Wiggum as a murderer somehow works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cops are always the killers.
yeah, true. So they got so much going on for them with this, and it's just one of those examples of something that the podcast allowed me to remember how much I enjoyed this, because I couldn't tell you the last time I watched it before we watched it for our show, and seeing it was like seeing it with fresh, like just fresh and new again, and I'm just like, damn, this is a great treehouse. And yeah, I ended up just loving it. So yeah, number 6.
Great choice. Great choice. It's number 16 on my honorable mentions.
Ooh,
Yeah,
all
not on my list though. Not on my list, but good choice. I'm glad
We're in
we
your
kept
top
it.
5 already.
Yeah, we're in the top 5. Look at us. Look
Mhm.
at us.
Let's go.
Look at us go. All right. Another this choice, I don't know. I think it would be considered in kind of the middle sweet spot in
Mhm.
terms of Simpsons era. It's maybe still kind of classic. It's season 7, but it's the Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace, the Nightmare on Elm Street parody.
On Evergreen Terrace. Very nice. Tell us about Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace.
Oh, stupid March weather, which we're experiencing all pretty much right now. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah, it's pretty much a parody on Nightmare on Elm Street, but again, it's a focus on Bart and Lisa, the students at Springfield Elementary, and the Freddy placeholder is, groundskeeper Willie. So it's great. He dies in as a result of like a messed up furnace. He burns to death. You literally see him like die. The parents, they make him wait because Millhouse's dad is like asking questions about lunch. And then he vows to avenge his death by murdering all the children where they can't save them in their dreams. He goes for them. And yeah, I don't know. I just love it. I love it's kind of scary too, like the big, bagpipe spider at the end. Like it has again all the students you see like what's his name? I forget right now. You see all the kids die. The Martin, he dies with his random dream where he's like a math wizard or something.
Right. And he dies like severely. It's this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty like in terms of, gorish, it's one of the more horrific episodes because it's kind of, it's a horror parody, which I appreciate and, it's a Halloween themed, but it still keeps its Simpsons element of PG. It's, Bart and Lisa, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, I really liked that one. I love where they include more characters than just the Simpsons family. It's not like a bottle episode, or it's not just in like the Simpsons house or like one place. And yeah, I think it was well done. It was a good parody. They made it funny while keeping it kind of edgy and
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good parody, and it was kind of gift wrap for them because they had that sort of because Freddy Krueger was a janitor as well, so they're like, okay,
Mhm.
the school custodian is already part of our show, and he's already amazing, and it's already kind of believable that Willie would go murdering children, even if this wasn't a Treehouse episode, you would buy that because Willie just doesn't care. Um, so that all worked wonders for it. And then, yeah, you're right. It has, I think, probably some of the scariest visual moments in any
Yeah.
Simpsons Treehouse. Even just the sight of burning Willie is really disturbing.
Yeah, yeah. Because I don't care. It's the janitor. Like, you know what I mean?
Willie, please.
Yeah, be quiet. Mr. Van Houten is talking. Or has the floor or something. Yeah, no, it's a great sketch. Very memorable for me growing up. And I always say stupid smart weather. So classic.
Oh, what a great choice. All right. Okay. We're on to my number 5, aren't we? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we are. Okay. Um, I had forgotten all about this episode until we watched it. And then, as you remember, because it was fairly recently, I just absolutely ended up falling in love with it. It's the Grand Pumpkin Millhouse.
Oh, yeah. Good choice. I knew you were gonna have this on your list. I knew you would. This is on my honorable mentions because I couldn't fit it in. Yeah.
Oh boy. It's so much Halloween goodness wrapped in just one little story. And then on top of that, it's like a really well done story with a cool monster and a cool concept, and the ending works for it, but it also has the great like horror ending twist where it solves the problem, but then the problem gets worse after all because this turkey is now rampaging. And to be frank, a giant turkey to me is 10 times more disturbing and frightening than a giant pumpkin
Yeah.
because turkeys are hideous. Uh,
They are. They are.
so this whole thing was just a tour de force of Halloweeny stuff, and the the shock that the Grand Pumpkin goes through when he finds out how we treat pumpkins will never not be funny. Uh, and both him and the turkey reaching a point where they both decide to scream revenge is beautiful. I want a toy of the Grand Pumpkin. Like that thing is, I love it to pieces. And it's one of the best Halloween, like literally Halloween stories that I think Simpsons has ever told.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I knew you were gonna pick it based on the recent rewatch and our discussion. We both picked it as our favorite. I liked it a lot too, for the same reasons. And I'm allergic to turkey, so yeah, fuck turkey. But yeah, it's weird. Anyway,
We're not missing much, really. I mean,
it's just chicken. It's just
Yeah.
larger, drier chicken, gainier chicken. Um, yeah, no, they did a great job on that sketch. It was fun, the animation style, you know, going into the style of Charlie Brown, kind of changing it up. I always like when they do that, like wherever they can use a different like style, like similar to like the dial M for murder or press pound for more options or whatever. That episode, that one was good because it was all black and white. Like so the King Kong one, like or King Homer. They use the little tricks they can use here and there. It's a cartoon, but still, like it adds to it, the ambiance, so to speak. But yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that one, it really feels like if that Grand Pumpkin episode had debuted when I was a little kid and I had seen it, it would be one of my favorite Halloween childhood memories. Like that would be up there with like trick or treating and like watching like Hocus Pocus and whatever. Like that would have been like the Grand Pumpkin episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it allowed you to enjoy the Charlie Brown one for so long when you were a kid.
True.
That's probably why you love this. It's so nostalgic of that, right?
Yeah. All right. We're on to your number 4.
All right, numero cuatro. We're cutting down to the line now. We're in the home stretch.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. I'm a little bit afraid.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sad. I'm getting sad, but also excited to reveal and talk about the ones that we both had on our list and find out like what numbers you had them ranked at. Okay. So my number 4 is a new one. It's from season 21. Treehouse number 20, and it is There's No Business Like Mo Business.
Oh, yeah, baby.
The Sweeney Todd parody. Is this on your list as well?
It is not, but it came real close.
Okay.
Real close.
And I hadn't realized until we rewatched it how good that sketch is. Almost half of the sketch, I was like crying laughing. I just love Mo. So anywhere they have him and he's included, like it's just amazing. He's so good. Another one of my choices has Mo, and it's not a surprise, but yeah, it's a part of the reason why I love the Treehouse episode. They include so many characters, and this one was just such a good, hyper focus on Mo's like weird cringiness and like how he loves Marge and how he, it's just the Sweeney Todd parody, which I guess I didn't explain yet, but it's a parody of Sweeney Todd. So it's like a musical, and they kind of play on the fact that it's a play in a musical, but it's just got so many funny quotes. It's not really scary per se, but it's an interesting choice. It's a kind of a play about murder, but at the end of the day, it's a musical, which I think that's why it's it was a very interesting inclusion in the sketches and in a Treehouse of Horror because they could make fun of it so easily and make fun of the Simpsons within it so well. Like the part where Homer's like being lifted as a part of the plane. It's like a bunch of horses. You have like 4 or 5 horses like trying to hoist it. Like Oh, it's just so good. All the quotes, like Mo going off, like writing the letter for Homer, but it's like you could tell Mo wrote it because it's crazy.
Mhm.
And then she's like, "Oh, that's exactly what Homer was there. Sounds with just like Homer." Like, yeah, it's just great. It just really, gives a good demonstration of how like unhinged I think the Mo character actually is. Like, but and it's not really. I mean, it's a great parody. It works so well on so many levels, and yeah, just overall awesome sketch.
What a great pick. One thing we should probably talk afterwards when we're finished our lists about what criteria we used, because I remember a lot of my thinking was if an episode like I talked about like jokes and like how the ending was written and how Halloweeny it was. Like I took all that into account and tried to find the ones that to my brain clicked together the most. And this came close, but it lost points on the ending and the Halloweeniness of it all. But if
Mhm.
we're talking just pure jokes, this would be like my number two. Like this is
Yeah.
it's so quotable. It's so funny. I was literally I was pouring a bowl of cereal this morning and I'm just pouring it and I'm just like, the image. I ran away because I
Yeah.
love yous no more. I'm just
Yeah.
like I couldn't help but repeat it because it's just classic.
So good. Yeah, he didn't even say her name properly. Midge. He always calls her Midge though. Like that's a Moism. But no, I didn't have a formula per se. Thinking about them, it's just really probably just how memorable they are for me and like how much they made me laugh is like probably the number two.
Yeah.
I think, prerequisite on the list in terms of, what they needed to have. The fact that they're Halloweeny, it didn't matter. I think just based on which episodes I liked the best. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a great rubric. I love it. Oh man. No.
it was so good. And I don't even like Sweetie Todd, but it's just that sketch, man, it was so funny. So funny.
Bart, Linda, and the other one there need a dad.
Yeah, they need a dad. Linda.
Oh wow. And that was the last one chronologically that we saw.
Yeah, it's the last one we watched. And
Oh
yeah,
wow.
maybe that's why it stayed with me so well, but I never remembered it or remember watching it in the past
Same.
or
Yeah.
or liking it as much maybe. But yeah, it slaps.
All right. So we're on to my number four here. Yeah, we are. Okay. I'm just double checking if that says what I think it says. Yes, it does. My Roman numerals are very small for some reason. I was like, what number is that? So this is from Treehouse 7. I had to go with our friend Hugo in The Thing and I.
Nice. Nice. Good choice. It's not on my list. I didn't pick that one.
Oh, all right.
No. It's a classic though. It's probably one of
Mhm.
the more popular classic ones I didn't pick. There's another one I know for sure you have on your list, but it's only on my honorable mentions. But yes, go on. Go on.
Okay. Um yeah, the thing and I is it's classic Simpsons, but it's kind of like it's a low-key story, if that makes sense. If you were to say to somebody, "Quick, tell me 3 classic Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes," they might forget about this one. Because it's so small scale, all the action happens in the Simpsons home. Um, and it's a pretty quick short story too. So it goes by really fast, but that idea of this evil Bart twin or not so evil Bart twin just roaming the house and like you hear him moaning at night in the air ducts is genuinely scary. And when Bart sees him up in the thing and you just see like a quick flash of something crawling around, you're like, whoa, I remember as a little kid thinking like, that's really freaky. What if that happens to me? Um, and then the reveal of it all is so funny. The way Marge and Homer have been casually dealing with this horrific thing, and they're taking it in stride, and Homer's just like, "Oh yeah, fish heads. Here we go.
Bucket of fish heads. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go feed it. Okay." And
Yes.
they somehow managed to keep the secret for at least 10 years. And then Dr. Hibbert comes along as the cherry on the sundae. Um, like literally like teleporting into their home and just becoming just the hero of the sketch. I love this, and I at first I thought it was going to be lower, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, this is it ticks a lot of just the sweet spot boxes for me. And I couldn't have put it lower than number 4. I tried, but I couldn't have put it lower than 4.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good one. It is a good one. And I do love the inclusion of Hibbert. He's not in a lot of episodes.
No.
And he's not in a lot of Treehouse episodes either. Like I would say maybe 6, like a handful of them. But that's the best one with him, I think, I would say. That one and the toupee, the hell toupee, that one.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he is in that.
Yeah, but it's it is a classic, and then like you said, it's a simple story. A lot of people would forget about it, but it really does set a standard or reinforce the fact that Bart is evil. That episode is so special. Even though it's like a treehouse sketch, it's like canon. It doesn't matter. It's like Bart's the evil twin, he's bad. No matter what way you shake it, like you can't escape it.
And there's something about the visual of Hibbert holding that picture frame and then just punching Kenny Boy in the face. That will
Yeah.
it's gonna live forever, that visual. So yeah, that's as low as I was able to rank the thing, and I love it.
Good choice. Very good choice.
Thank you. All right, we're in your top 3 now, lady.
Yeah, top 3. These ones were hard, and I tried almost strategically to include sort of a newer one, like a classic one. And my number one, like I couldn't help. My number one is just my number one. Like going through the list, is like this is my number one, doesn't matter. Um, but and I'm sure you probably already know what it is, but we'll see if we have it on both our lists. So my number 3, we're going back to maybe a not as classic episode, but not a classic one, like not the first 5 seasons or like 6 seasons. It's from season 12. History has 11, and it's Scary Tales Can Come True. This was the Hansel and Gretel parody.
Yeah.
And it was a parody, but I really liked that. First of all, it just I think in rewatching and revisiting these seasons and these Treehouse sketches and episodes, I'd forgotten about how funny this one was. And I liked, even though it's not like really Halloweeny, it is pretty horrific. Like the grim fairy tales were pretty dark. They lightened them up a lot for like the Disney side of it. Or the like lullaby side of it. But it's a more colorful Halloween tale, I guess you could say, in terms of all the sketches. But it's so funny. And I really loved the use of like, the Simpson family being, the family from the fairy tale with Hansel and Gretel, and Homer, kind of ditches Bart and Lisa. And then they stumble upon the witch in the forest. But, again, Mo, he's in this one. He's the troll bridge. And it slays me. Like, all the inclusions of Mo, like, you win me over. I love that character. And just the story, like, it was really well done. Like, they did a funny job of it. Like, them living in, like, a straw hut, and like Marge agreeing to them selling. She was gonna sell the kids. He just abandoned them. Like, she's like, no, we can make money off of them. Like, yeah. And she's like, go get them so we can sell them. Like, not just get them back. Like, and just the witch. Like, it's so funny. I love the layered jokes and like the throwback jokes. We talked a lot about how a lot of the older seasons, like generationally, like now Gen Z would not get any of the jokes, like at all. And like a lot of the jokes in this episode were a lot of throwbacks, like, like, oh, what's his name? Like, she said the witch is talking about her boyfriend to Lisa, and she's like, oh, George Cauldron, like, which is like a really hilarious Brady Bunch reference, like, Jan's boyfriend, George Glass. But yeah, I just that episode, I thought it was really well done. Like, George Cauldron shows up at the end and he's like looking for Suzanne. Like, it was really well done. I really liked that sketch. There's no business like Mo business, and the Scary Tales. And the Nightmare and Evergreen Terrace, those ones were hard for me to rank. I like kept moving them around. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's a good pick, and I totally can respect this pick. It's one of my lower ranked Treehouse stories for me personally, but I agree with you about those moments. Like those are fantastic. Mo's idea of trying to make a friend by going "Rah," is just it's the most Mo thing ever.
Yeah. Come here. He's like, yeah. Or just like Homer at the end, he's laying an egg, and like the final shot is like him with like the egg coming out because he's half chicken. Like I just really liked a lot of elements within that sketch that were just super simple. I don't know. Yeah, that one stuck with me.
Yeah, there's some great stuff. It's visually one of the cooler ones too, like the visual models of like that image of Homer with the chicken butt laying the egg is grotesque, but it's so iconic. It's a very iconic treehouse image of the Simpsons family. And one thing that I I hope it's like there's all these like small things of pop culture that I want to integrate into my life just to have them happen because they would amuse me. One of them is to do like the song standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona with 7 women on my mind. Like I want to go to Winslow, Arizona and stand on a corner, think of 7 women. One other thing that I want to do is I want to start dating someone where her last name is an inanimate object. So I can somebody can ask me like, oh, who's this girl you're seeing? I can be like, Karen Lamp, and then they'll think I'm lying until I'm not, and then
The like modern equivalent of that, like, oh, George Glass is like the only thing I can think of is the Hungry for Apples from Rick and Morty. Hungry for apples?
I don't know why I don't remember this.
Oh my god, it's where what's his name? The dad. The fuck.
Jerry.
Jerry, yeah. It's like the simulation where he's like a marketing executive. That's what he comes up with.
And they all agree with him like right away that it's like,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I thought about that. Yeah. Weird what we like and
I know, right?
sticks in our head. Yeah.
That would endlessly amuse me. So if anybody listening is a beautiful single woman whose last name is like Chair or something, look you up.
Mrs. Seat. Give him a call.
That sounds like a James Bond lady. My name is Tiffany Seat.
Tiffany Seat. Jessica Lace. There you go. Michelle Dorr.
Michelle Dorr. I'm always open.
Yeah. What about Olivia Object? My last name is Object.
Sean Connery would have loved that one.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. On to my number 3, which is in fact from Treehouse number 3. I couldn't part with this no matter how hard I try. I am picking Lisa's Nightmare, aka The Monkey's Paw, as my number 3 choice.
Nice. Not on my list. I almost had it, but I didn't. I ended up switching it.
Oh boy, what a I this might be the Treehouse that I have seen the most because I had it on VHS back in the day, and I really didn't want that to color my ranking because I didn't want it to be this predictable thing of like, oh, it's just because I saw it more. But every time I come back to this story and the rapid fireness of everything that happens and how the Simpsons reacts to the wishes and how the town reacts to the wishes, how everybody hates them when they're famous and they're famous in the most tacky way possible with their Calypso album.
Having a ska band.
And all of that and like Ned getting the paw and it works amazingly for him because of course it does. Like it all compounds into such an amazing story. And at the end of the day, even if all of that was not in the picture, the image of the merchant in the distance going, "You'll be sorry."
And he disappears.
I will be saying that in that voice for the rest of my life.
Wait, is that the sketch where they're like, we're in ethnic town and it's like the alleyway? Is that one?
It was. I don't think it was Ethnic Town. No, it's
Okay.
they were in Morocco.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
he thought it was a little shop right over there. Oh no, wait, it was over there.
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah. Yeah, it's a classic one, the monkey spot.
Uh-huh.
Oh, very good. Good choice, Andrew. Good choice.
Thank you.
I like that we have had similar choice selections. Less than I thought, more in my honorable mentions, actually, than just getting dropped.
Yeah,
Like a lot more. But it's okay. That's it gives us more time to talk about them, right?
exactly.
All right, okay. Is it my number 2 now?
It is.
Oh shoot. Really coming down to the wire.
I
Okay.
know.
So this was the same, like we both selected this one. The Shinning, baby.
The Shining.
Shinning. The Shining parody. Gotta be like seriously one of the best. I almost put the as my number 1.
Yeah.
It's classic. Groundskeeper Willie, like, you know, being just the voice of the whole entire sketch, essentially, like the face of the parody. It's so good. It's so good. It's just, The Simpsons going to the Overlook, the parody of The Shining, but they can't say The Shining because it's trademarked, copyright. It's The Shinning, and Homer unravels due to lack of no TV and beer. I guess the original Jack Nicholson, like he didn't care about TV, he just cared about booze. He was alcoholic. But no, it's a great parody, and I love how you just at the end in a lot of these sketches where there's the inclusion of Groundskeeper Willie, who's just, cherry on the top of the cake, or the sundae, whatever dessert you like. He dies in a very, very traumatic way, axe to the back, which is a classic, you know, Groundskeeper Willing way to go. So I just love this. I just loved it, all of it, the opening part of it, how it just really, they just did a good job of making it hilarious for a movie that's so scary to so many people, even though I don't think it's scary. Okay.
Yeah, it's the groundskeeper Willie of it all. Oh man. First of all, he's such a great like you can substitute him in when you're making these parodies, like with him as the Scatman Crothers character or him as Freddy Krueger, like any blue collar working man, you can take and replace him with Willie and you're gonna have a good time. And I think it's a testament to the Simpsons writers of just they knew what would be funniest. They could have in the actual Shining when I keep forgetting his name in the movie, but when Scatman Crothers comes to the rescue and he gets killed off so fast by Jack,
Yeah.
um, and they could have done something different about that or turned that into like a weird joke or something. But I think the Simpsons writers knew that there was something kind of funny about that. Like
Yeah.
this wise man who's like got magic powers and you're relying on him to come to the rescue, and then Jack just offs him out of nowhere. They're like, that in itself is a Simpsons kind of joke. And so they just rolled with that and had Willie meet the exact same fate. Like there was nothing fancy about it. And it turned this already very cool story into something like palatable with the Simpsons on a 1-to-1 scale. And you believe this would drive Homer crazy, and you believe that the little miniature TV would not only bring him back to his senses and back to his family, but the abrupt inability to change the channel would also immediately start the urge to kill rising.
Urge to kill rising. I say that so often. Urge to kill rising.
Oh, I can only imagine you're at your workplace. You're probably dropping that one 9 times a day.
Aren't we all? Fuck work. But yeah, no, so funny. Such a great sketch. And it's just a classic too. I mean, it's still pretty early. It's still season 6, Treehouse number 5, right? So you know, still being early on, being such a great parody. And like you said, like the inclusion of Groundskeeper Willie, the inclusion of a lot of the characters in his placeholder, but it still worked without being I don't know, just it's not it hits or it lands much better than like say the Bram Bart Simpson's Dracula episode, like the Bram Stoker's parody.
Yeah, it does.
Like it works well and it's so much funnier and still, pretty gruesome. Like I love the ghouls and like Moe at the bar. Just kill your family. I'll give you booze. Like, like it's so good. Again, inclusion of Moe, like inclusion of Groundskeeper Willie. You have all the great like characters that just make the episode so good. You know what? That's probably where I landed. You asked earlier, Groundskeeper Willie, Moe,
That's a great point. And you got Burns at the beginning, which is a
and
bit real.
Burns.
I'm still to this day, I have never seen a John Denver Christmas special, but I'm so curious about it.
Oh man, I'm gonna watch it this Christmas. I'm gonna remember. You gotta bookmark it.
Yeah, they're gonna look it up, see what the fuss is all about.
Yeah, let's watch it together. Podcast it.
The John Denver Christmas special.
Yeah. Bust out my acoustic.
Yeah, great choice. So you had that. You had Shinning at your number 2. I had it at my number 9 spot. So
Hey.
we had it like literally symmetrical, just opposites. But
Andrew Fantasia Andrew.
our lists are palindromes.
Yep.
Imagine. All right. So my number 2 is something you have mentioned before. It's time to talk about Terror at 5.5 feet.
Yeah. I hear you were gonna say that one. I'm keeping track. I know what your number 1 is.
Oh man. And you know what? It really it was close with this and my number 1, but doing Tales from the Treehouse, it's another one of those instances where if you would have asked me a year ago, Andrew, what's your number 2 favorite Halloween episode? I would never have said Tales or Terror at 5.5 feet. And then lo and behold, here we are and we're watching this goddamn thing. And I cannot stop laughing from the minute it starts to the minute it's over. Like I cannot stop because the show does not stop. It's throwing so much at us. The way everybody is reacting to Bart in the most over the top way possible, particularly Skinner, as if he's like just had enough, and Bart being tremendously afraid, but nothing is going right for him. And you get the addition of Groundskeeper Willie. He's in there too. He pops up in one of the best possible ways. And I'd be loath to forget mentioning Ooter is in here. This might be, I believe, our first appearance of Ooter. It's one of the earliest ones. And Ooter's just a treat. He is just an absolute treat. And Melhouse, who's one of my favorite characters. So many of these greats are packed into this bus. And it's literally every second something new is happening that just makes the story funnier. And like I can't, if you were to plot this out beat by beat by beat, there's never a moment where I'm not laughing except maybe just when the title card comes up.
Yeah.
Other than that, it is completely destroying me in the best possible way. And I would even go so far as to say this has more laughs than my number 1, which is what made it so close. It's just tremendously funny, and any moment from it is one of the best moments in a Simpsons Treehouse sketch ever. So, Terror at 5.5 feet, baby. You had it at, where'd you have it?
Number 7.
Number 7.
Great choice. No, it's a great choice. Again, it's a classic. When I think of Simpsons Treehouse, I think of this one again. It's also a Twilight Zone story. So yeah, like you said, it has all the great characters. It has Skinner, it has Ooter, it's like all the elementary school kids. It has Groundskeeper Willie, and it has Ned in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it has that little goblin demon terror that I just love the end where you see him, like Ned picks it up and he's trying to baby it, and it's just like swiping at him, and then it's like like taking his face because Ned's trying to love it, like give it love, and it's just
you just did that face so perfectly. I feel sorry for anybody who's only listening to the audio because they have just missed out on an iconic moment.
Can you get a screen grab of it? Like, he's so funny. Oh, I love it. The swiping first, and then the like so scared. Oh, it's so good. I love it. Great choice, Andrew. Excellent choice. And the
Thank you.
placement, I can't argue with it. Like I would easily have put a lot of these in any spot. Like
Right.
it's so hard to rank them. Yeah.
It's oh man, and it's got Mole Man. It's got a great Mole Man moment. Yeah, even like, and this is saying a lot. Like considering they just finished airing episode number 800. This what I'm about to say is saying a lot, but it has like one of the funniest Homer Simpson moments of of Bart being completely like just he's at his wits end and who should drive by but Homer with his bullhorn. Hey boy.
Doing what the hell is he doing? Shouldn't you be at work? He's on the bus to school. Hey boy, it's like doesn't he see the creature? Like, no, just playing with his foghorn. Like, yeah, amazing. Yeah, but like the moment, I love that. He's like, I just paid this off, made my last payment. And his car goes into like the ditch. They really underutilize the older citizens of Springfield, like Jasper and like the old Jewish man. Like, I love those characters. So yeah, great catch. I forgot about that. I forgot about Mole Man. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Made my last payment.
All right. Well, that was my number 2. It's time for your number 1, and I honestly don't know what it is because looking at what we've got so far, the only yeah, I have no idea what your number 1 could be.
That's okay. Do you want to do yours? I know what yours is.
Yeah.
Okay, I know.
This is how we got real symmetrical here. My number 1 is Citizen King.
Excellent.
And it's, it's so close that ask me again in a couple weeks and my number 1 might be Terra at 5.5 feet. Like that's how close they are. But Citizen King is to me it's the Simpsons Halloween episode. It's the epitome of a Simpsons Halloween episode. King and Kodos and what they do with Bill Clinton and Bob Dole and how they quote unquote ruin the election. It says everything that's wrong with the two-party system of American politics is thrust under a microscope in this like 8-minute sketch, and it gets the shit torn out of it. And like to the point where this sketch is like what 30 years old now, and I'm like, how did the American political system survive that long after this aired? Because this should have been its death knell. This should have been the moment where everybody's like, yeah, this country's like garbage. Like, let's change things. And the whole story of like this classic UFO story of replacing the leaders, you would think on paper like, oh, that's kind of boring. It's something we've seen a million times before. But the execution, man, whew. And seeing like I could watch Clinton with Kodos's voice coming out of his mouth all day long. Twirling, twirling, twirling.
Oh my God. I say that all the time. Twirling, I'm twirling.
And it, of course, it has my favorite quote in the entire history of the show, which is, "What the hell is this? Some kind of tube?" I will, to my dying breath, my last words on this earth. I'm imagining I'll probably be hooked up to some kind of IV or something. So I will take hold of whatever tube is attached to me, and I will say, "What is this? Some kind of tube?" And then I'll shuffle off the mortal coil, and I'll die happy.
This is some kind of tube. No, I agree. It's some kind of tube. Proceeds to stop breathing. No. Yeah, that sketch was it's classic, and I agree with you on so many levels there. Like it's not really Halloween per se. Like it an alien invasion is terrifying. I just love how it's the typical sci-fi trope, but then it spirals into this like political, or not Orwellian, almost what's the word? Ray Bradbury? Like
I think I know what you mean. Like,
yeah, like a crazy like apocalyptic, sci-fi story, but
yeah.
at the same, token, like you said, it's such a good like, you know, mirror to the American political, system and how it's been working and how it isn't working and just oh god, it's so funny where he's just like, it's a two-party system. You have to choose one of us. It's like your planet is doomed. Like no matter what you choose, like either way, your planet is doomed. But
Refreshingly frank words from the president.
yeah, from the president. No, but yeah, I love Homer on the ship with like both actual like Bob Dole and actual Bill Clinton, and Homer tries to save them, and he releases Bob Dole. They're just like into space. He's like, oh, or both of them. They both just release into space, and he's like, oh, oops, dead. I just love it. Oh, I love it, and just the way they're so unhinged. Like they don't even pretend to not like just to talk like the way they do as Gang and Kodos. Like, so funny.
I nothing. There's few things on this planet that are funnier to me than somebody poorly disguising themselves as somebody else. I will never stop being amused by that. And the fact that every time there's been an American election or an election here in Canada, you go online and this episode starts popping up on social media. Every election,
Yeah,
you see something from this come up.
100%.
It is like so timeless, and it's always going to be relevant. You're always going to be able to go back to Citizen King and say, well, they told us, they tried to tell us.
Yep, yeah. Well, it's funny because the reality, it's like you have this candidate who's running and you're like, yeah, I believe in this person. And then eventually they get paid off or like someone buys them out and you know, they're Kang and Kodo and they're like, yeah, it's just about but like no interest for the actual regular citizen. Like yeah, it's amazing. Just taken over by the machine, like drank the Kool-Aid, like invasion of the body snatcher. Like yeah, no, it's a great sketch. Not like it could have just been a non like standalone episode of The Simpsons. Like it didn't necessarily need to be a Treehouse of Horror, but it's you really only do see Kang and Kodos in that capacity. Like I don't think there has been a standalone episode with them. They're only Treehouse characters, but we love when they're featured. And yeah, this sketch was awesome. It's really stands the test of time. Yeah. They've tried to like gouge at politics a lot, specifically voting, like the other treehouse where Homer's trying to vote with like the
Right.
modern voting machine, and it doesn't work. He only wanted one of those votes to be for McCain as his voting a bunch of times. But it's a really you don't really think of it as scary. Like, oh, politics voting, like you're a teenager. Oh, I get to vote. But it is
Yeah.
scary. Like the outcomes have major impacts on your day-to-day life and the day-to-day lives of people, like decisions. So in terms of like it not being Halloweeny, it is like pretty terrifying in reality. So
Yeah, it
good
is.
choice.
Thank
Good
you.
choice.
Yeah, I love it, and I know that it's always gonna be something I can go back to and be like, this is the treehouse for me. But I have no idea what could be the crown jewel of your list, Miss Amanda. Yeah, I don't know, and it's not a repeat, so it's nothing we got going on here.
Oh.
Hmm. It looks
I'm
like there's an
actually
Epicellus.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you didn't have it on your list.
Mm.
I feel like it's probably not in terms of the our reasoning for our selections and like our prerequisites here on our rubric for choice. It might not be on maybe that realm for you, or maybe consider considering the actual sketch, but I don't know. It kind of fit for me, but it's the Raven season 2, Treehouse of Horror #1, the last sketch of the episode
Oh
of
my
the
God, what
first
a
Treehouse.
great choice.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm in awe. I'm enjoying your choice because I really like it.
You forgot it? Did you forget about it?
I didn't forget it, but I'm glad you put it on there because there was a brief moment where I was making my list and I'm looking at everything, right? I'm looking at Raven, and I knew right away I'm like, I don't think Raven's gonna make it, and there was a little twinge of sadness. Oh, because I have nothing against Raven. It's a absolutely fantastic story. But so I'm really glad that not only is it on your list, but it's #1. I think
It was
it's great.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, it's a classic. I think the reasoning, like in terms of the rest of my choices, was it was so hard to kind of preface it. Like I couldn't. It's not really the fun. It's not the funniest on the list. It's not like the scariest, but I don't know. I just remember it the most. It's from the first Treehouse. It is funny. Like it's a great. Again, this is the only one that isn't really a parody. It's just like a literal play of the poem, right?
Yeah.
Of The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. And they do kind of make it, I don't know, when you read The Raven or you think of the poem and you've read it, you don't really read it in the same tone. It's, maybe you do. I don't know. I read it in a more somber sort of way or light, like more melancholy. At points, yes, maybe more, like it's kind of about grief, right? So, like, kind of going through the stages of grief in a way, like thinking of like being sad and like the denial, like bargaining. But it's a really good version, how it's sort of a play in terms of how The Simpsons did it, where it is funny. Like it's kind of a funny, take on it in a way. I don't know. I think of like, stories can only be either tragedies or comedies, and they did a comedy version of like a tragic story, sort of. And
Right.
I don't know, the animation, the visuals are really good in it. Art, it's very simple, but I don't know, it's always resonated with me. And it's, probably one of my favorite like versions of Bart is like the Raven. Like we were talking, previously in other, episodes of this podcast, how we love how they change up the characters and they mainly do it in the tree houses, like the different versions of Marge, like the cat Marge and like the witch Marge and like
Yeah.
like there's all blue Marge, like there's all the variations of the characters, you get to see them. Otherwise it's just their character outfits, right? Like it's very few and far between you see that change. But this was also a sketch where they had an awesome guest narrator, where they don't have a lot of narrators, but Edgar, what's his name, James Earl Jones, like you can't go wrong with his voice doing such a classic story, and like The Simpsons, animating it and making it funny and like digestible, and maybe even introducing me or like kids who watched it back when they first saw it into like literature and maybe poetry, because you never really knew about it at the time. I think I was maybe like 5 when this episode came out, 6. But going into school and when you like learning about books and it is an introduction to Poe, who's like a classic, you know, romantic or gothic, you know, writer.
Yeah.
So that might be why it's a favorite of mine. I'm a big fan of that kind of, those kinds of books, those stories, and The Simpsons. Maybe they introduced me and slightly influenced me unknowingly.
That's a great point. It's a doorway to literature, and obviously literature is a big part of your life. So it would have been like an early way to get you into that. It was your gateway drug. Um,
Way.
and it's funny because to this day, 30, what, I think they're on season 38 now or something like that.
Hmm.
But in 38 years, the Raven is still not just unique among Treehouse episodes, but it's just unique in the Simpsons period. There's really nothing else like it that the show has ever done. They've done a lot of, especially in later seasons, they do so much of like, here's Hamlet, but everybody's a Simpsons character, or here's a
Hmm.
Bible story, but everybody's a Simpsons character. They do that so much, but this was telling everything with a straight face. And that's never really been attempted before. And like you said, it's still
Yeah.
funny. You still laugh at the episode, but
Mm.
the jokes are not typical Simpsons jokes. What's funny about it is like seeing Homer getting his Homer anger,
Frustrated. Yeah.
come here, babe, and like seeing Lisa and Maggie as Seraphim dropping books on his head and Raven Bart fluttering around. That's the joke, but the the segment is not throwing wit at you. It's not the writer's room coming up with classic one-liners. You're just listening to a beautiful retelling of the Raven that happens to have
Mhm.
really funny visuals that go
Yeah.
along with it. Uh, and they've never done that before. Like, it's not like they read Hamlet verbatim while they were showing us Hamlet in season 15 or whatever. So
Yeah.
you get something completely unprecedented in The Simpsons to this day, and you like it makes total sense that it would make an impact, and that we're still talking about it 37 years later, right?
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
what a great choice for number one.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, no, I 100% agree with, most of what you said. If not more than what you said. I think it's a good marriage between, like you said, different forms of media, old and new. Um, for people who watch The Simpsons, like I said, I was like really young. My whole family watched it. So it was something that was digested and, viewed by so many people. I feel like even though I was a kid, it probably influenced even like adults down, into that kind of realm. But yeah, just the story in general, it's so unique compared to, and you even said that, you touched upon that, but to echo it, it's so unique compared to every other Simpsons episode, every other parody that they've done. It's probably, I think, probably the first one. I don't know if they had in the first season or the second season that many like the Simpsons do the Odyssey or like the Simpsons
Yeah.
do, you know what I mean? Like they
I
did,
don't think they did. No.
it might have been like, the jump start for that because people liked it so much and they wanted to see their version or retelling or you know, their hand at a story, which they do very well. But I think this one is probably the best. And yeah, it's not, I don't know. Overall, it's funny, but it is still, and you touched upon this too, like the animation is great, how they did include the Simpsons family, not a lot of other characters, but they did it really creatively. Again, it's, the story is told in like, not old English, but like it's old timey, it's gothic, you know, um, it's not modern language, so it's not Shakespearean either, but it's, it's not modern. And the way that it's so eloquently written, they're able to still make it funny and include such detail in the animation. And it's The Simpsons. Like they did a great job, just overall. Yeah. Number one with a bullet, the
N-
Raven.
Number one with a Raven.
Yeah.
Nevermore. Wow.
Nevermore.
We did it. We ranked them. Rankapalooza.
Rankapalooza.
Neither of us died. We slipped through it. This is great.
We did it. No groundskeeper really acts in the back.
No, thankfully. I'm watching my back just in case. But we ended up having only 3 crossovers.
Yeah.
Fewer than we both thought.
Yeah. A lot of, I had 1, 2, 3, 4 from my honorable mentions on your list. So I would have had my choices been different, we could have had 7, like I said.
Oh yeah. What were your honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions were the Ned Zone. I know what you did, diddly-id. That's another Ned heavy one where he's, yeah. Whiz Kids. That's not good for the clock. I love that. I've grown a costume on your face.
Oh yeah.
Using 17. It's the Grand Pumpkin Millhouse up there. 4 beheadings and a funeral. That's not a smog. Dial M for murder or press pound. I really liked that in the rewatch. I really enjoyed that one. Night of the Dolphin. That also in the rewatch I enjoyed. Time and Punishment, which you also had. And this one, my number 20, which I'm actually shocked you didn't have on your list. I thought for sure you would have had it. You really liked it in the podcast, like when we were doing through the list, like through the episodes. And it was, I think, number 1 on your list for the the episode, but you didn't include it. It was The Devil and Homer Simpson.
Ooh, yeah. The Devil and Homer Simpson was it was one of those ones where my heart was saying to put it in because it's classic.
Yeah.
But I was like, just because it's classic, I had to keep stopping myself and say, doesn't mean there's stuff I don't like more. So
Yeah.
it kind of ended up being this thing where like, okay, here's all the classic ones that I know I love. And then looking at the more modern ones and seeing, okay, which ones of these are better though? And then that kind of ended up trickling like a Jenga tower. I do love that one, and it's got a great ending, and it's got Lionel Hutz, God bless him. Um, but yeah, that's a really good choice there. That was your number 20.
That was my number 20.
Yeah, that's a good one. I only had one honorable mention. It was one that I kept flip flopping for number 10, and that was Easy Bake Coven.
Oh, I had that. And I was like, you know what? No, there's ones that I thought were funnier, and it's so similar to like the other witch one, like that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? But yeah, that one's classic. It's the Witch Marge.
Yeah. Witch Marge is a super cool just design of Marge, and you're right. It's not the funniest one. It's got a couple great moments like Durwood, and
Yeah.
it's so Halloweeny. But yeah, it just got edged out there.
No, great honorable mention. For sure.
Thank you.
For sure.
So the ones that we clearly favor the most are The Shinning, Citizen King, and Terror at 5.5 Feet, which mathematically, based on where you put it and where I put it, Terror at 5.5 Feet has the most love from those lists.
Yep, agreed. Yep. That's our like number one ranked episode then, or sketch. Yeah, I always do that. Damn. Tomorrow I'll try to say it and I'll have no issues. I'll never have to say that again or distinguish between them, and I'll have no problem. But yeah, just the luck.
If I had a budget and like a room full of costumes, I would make us get together and reenact all of Terror at 5.5 Feet and film it in live action.
Only if I get to be Uter and like the demon and Molman. The strangest of the characters. The goblin-y ones.
Otto is so ready to just drive an old man off the road.
Yeah.
He doesn't even question it.
Yeah. Oh, got it. The gremlin.
Oh, don't worry, Bart, dude. I'll take care of this.
Yeah, he's got it. Otto. Such a great character.
Wow. Well, our Rankapalooza is complete. I can't believe it. We did it. Tales from the Treehouse has reached its ultimate goal. And I mean, to everybody who listened / watched, thank you for sticking with us for 21 episodes, well past Halloween. But it's okay. It would have been hilarious if we ended up somehow dragging it out from one Halloween to the next. Scheduling is really
crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I think if we recorded more than one at a time, we would have made it. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that's okay. We spread it out. We had it work. We made it last.
That's the beauty about holidays that you love, is you want to let them stretch out past their due date and just enjoy them all year round.
Especially the best ones like Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're almost halfway to Halloween. So
look at us.
Right.
Keeping ourselves entertained.
Oh man. Amanda, do you have anything you want to plug or mention before we sign off on Treehouse?
The only thing I think is, your books. Check out Andrew. Yeah. Check out all of his work. Check out his Independence.
Did you plug in stuff for me? Oh
yeah. Search Amazon by his name, guys. Last name.
Yeah.
First name. That's the best way.
Type that in plus Amazon and Google, and this will come up right away, because some guy named BJ Independence is moving in on my Google territory, and he and I need to have strong words. But until that happens, you got this. Here's a sneak preview. Hooah, hooah. There we go. Didn't spoil anything important.
It's like the most climactic page you opened on. My screen grabbed it. Ruined. Spoilers. But yeah, no, check out Andrew's. He's on a number of amazing podcasts. Check out Digital Charcuterie. Great podcast channel on all the podcast platforms. And check out our episodes again when Halloween comes around.
That's right.
As you revisit us, your friends, the Simpsons lovers. And
That would be the dream, that we become somebody's Halloween tradition. Well, that'd be nice. There's somebody out there who's like, every year I listen to Tales from the Treehouse with Amanda and Andrew, and that's my Halloween go-to. And they someday somebody does a podcast about our podcast. They're like, let's rank the 10 best episodes of Tales from the Treehouse.
I'm totally up for that. It's much better than being like in another kind of podcast, like true crime or like missing persons or something like that.
Oh, are there podcasts about true crime?
I wonder. Strange. We should start one. Probably
Yeah,
just,
like
break
breaking
through the
ground.
industry. Yeah.
Mhm.
Look at us. Look at us.
We should do one called Fake Crime, where we set it up like it's a true crime, but at the end of every episode, we're like, not, and then we sign off, and that's it.
Fake crime. Figure out which crime was fake. Kind of like fact, like beyond belief, fact or fiction. And we just make up a crime and insert it in, and you have to figure out which story is the non-true crime.
Oh, I love it.
Podcast ideas, guys.
Yeah. We definitely do need to do another show at some point or something, because this has been tremendously fun. And thank you for joining me on this Halloween excursion.
Hey, thanks for, inviting me on this journey. Simpsons is always a good time. Andrew's always a great time. Such a great fella.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Back
Thanks
at
for
you.
shooting me. I am a pretty good fella.
You are a great fella.
Hair toss. But yeah, no, thanks
I
everyone
used to
who
be able to hair toss, but
look,
times
just
have
rubbing it in your face. I can't be Fantasia Andrew if I was bald too. Right? I have long hair. Opposites. You have a beard. I don't.
That's right. We're the mirror image of each other. That's right.
Yeah.
The negative, the mirror negative. That's it.
That's it. Got it.
Well, everyone, that'll do it for the Rankapalooza, and that'll also do it for Tales from the Treehouse. I think, keeping with our mirror negative theme, we should sign off oppositely. So, Amanda, take it away.
Oh. Well, thanks everyone. Don't blame us. We
Voted for Konos.